Good evening, Mrs. S. My name is Kaylee Minarski, and I'm going to go over your assessment results, and this is just a review of them. It's going to be in layman terms so that you understand. However, it is written in a multiple person point of view as I was presenting this to my colleagues. So first, just an overview of yourself. As you know, 29-year-old female, you're currently a student, you have a Army veteran background, you have a self-reported history of being poor with mathematics, having anxiety as well as depression. You have been, or the clinician observed you to present highly anxious during the assessment, obviously, especially during the math portion, but they were unable to identify any depressive symptoms upon presentation. And back to the self-reporting, you also mentioned unable to concentrate and unable to complete tasks. So additional complaints that were brought to the attention of the clinician were anxiety surrounding math, anxiety in general, depression, and the inability to concentrate. Important to note is that you do not have a diagnosis of ADHD, but you do have a long-standing diagnosis of anxiety and depression. And this does stem from some issues that you saw or things that you saw within when you were in the Army. So the results of your assessment that you finished, so they're broken up into 6 different areas: cognitive, achievement, information processing, memory, executive functions, and as well as mood and personality. So for cognitive, you were rated among average of the individuals that have taken this assessment. Some portions you scored lower than average. However, this was assessed from the clinician to be due to your anxiety. Achievement, education achievement. So poor score and success on the math portion. However, overall you were average to below average in most of the reading and comprehension. This was assessed from the clinician due to anxiety as well as your education level. So the higher education, the better understanding you're going to have of additional reading and comprehension. Information processing was average and on par with an individual with ADHD, and you did have poor in math, but that seems to have been a trend. Your memory, you have no significance of memory impairment. You did have signs of ADHD with memory, but it was lack of attention or inability to concentrate and not necessarily within your memory functions. Executive functions, reasoning, planning, response inhibition were within normal range. Your problem solving, again, specifically with math, was poor. Your mood and personality, you scored in the severe range for anxiety, moderate range for depression, but not enough to be diagnosed with a depressive disorder. It was noted that it looks as if you scored within agreeing or ranging with a pessimistic view on life. However, your answers were inconsistent, and this was likely due to the anxiety of the assessment. And the clinician also had an additional diagnosis of a mathematics disorder. So what does this all mean? It looks really big and scary, lots of information essentially, but what it means is that we need to look into additional anxiety medication and therapy, look for additional outlets to reduce stress, tension, and depression. You mentioned you love working out, running, going for hikes, that kind of thing. Anything that releases endorphins is really good. So those kind of things that can help you release stress and tension, as well as anxiety medication and therapy, is going to be very beneficial. Give yourself grace in the understanding that math is a hard area. You admitted it. So allow yourself grace and extra time on assessments. The clinician recommended that you should have use of a calculator for things such as the GRE, and additional time on math portions of the assessment. And it's noted that you should seek additional help if depressive symptoms worsen. If you have any questions over the results of your assessment, please let me know, and thank you for your time.